Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. So in today's video we are doing the TBR jar chooses my books for the month of April. Now I can't believe we are almost in April. March has just flown by, but I did this last month and I chose 5 books and I actually stuck to it, and I want to say I read all 5 books that I chose, but then I also read more that was on my TBR. So this month I think we're going to choose a few more books. I'm thinking instead of 5 I might choose 7 or 8, because I tend to read between like 8 to 10 books a month, so I feel like that's kind of a good number, and then whatever I don't read I can either pass on to the next month or I just won't read it. So I've moved my prompts into this jar just because this one is a bit easier for me to kind of put my hand in than the other one. I've added a few more prompts since the last time as well, so we're just going to dive in and hope for the best. So let's do prompt number 1. Now I literally pulled this the first time last month and I've pulled it for the first time again, and it is Treat Yourself, buy a new book to read. I think I'm going to do this a bit differently just because I have bought so many books over the past like couple weeks. I think I'm just going to choose one of those instead of buying a brand new book again, just because I've spent so much money on books recently. I'm kind of just want to only buy a book if I'm desperate to read it. So let's see the books that we've got to choose from. So like I said, I have bought a few books recently. I've also been gifted quite a few books, but I don't want to choose one of those. I do want to choose one that I have physically bought with my own money. So I've got 4 here to choose from. So the first one is Dragonfall by L.R. Lamb. I picked this up while I was in London at Goldsboro. It is a Goldsboro edition and I do like a book about dragons, so we have this. We also have The Song of the Marked by S.M. Gaither. Again, this is a Goldsboro edition. I picked this up at the same time as Dragonfall. It is a exclusive Goldsboro. You can't get this hardback anywhere else from what I know. This is a romance, I want to say, but then it could be fantasy. I'm not too sure, but we do have this to kind of choose from as well. Another sort of special edition book that I've only just recently picked up is A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. So this is her newest book in like a new series, and I got this from Forbidden Planet because it is sprayed and it's also signed by her. So we have this one to choose from, and then just a random one in the mix we have by Grand Central Station, I Sat Down and Wept. I picked this up at Foyles when I was there. I want to say it was last week or something, I'm not too sure, but again this would be quite a good short read to kind of dive into the month, so it could be this one as well. So I do think out of all of those I am going to pick up by Grand Central Station, I Sat Down and Wept, just because it's quite a short read, and if I am going to pick like 7 or 8 books I don't want them all to be like really thick chunky fantasy books that I really need to think about and dive into, whereas I think this would just be quite a fun short read to kind of add into the mix, because I do tend to just pick fantasy and I kind of want to get out of that. We did that last month and it was incredible. It was a really good reading month, so hopefully we can continue on with that. So I think I'm going to choose this. So for the Treat Yourself, buy a new book to read, I have bought myself a new book and we are going to choose this one. Okay, so on to the second prompt. Okay, so I haven't had this one before, and this one says friend pick. So I'm going to choose, I think, 2 or 3 books, send a picture to my friend, and we will see what she chooses. Okay, so the 2 books I have chosen for my friend to kind of choose between is the reappearance of Rachel Price, which is Holly Jackson's newest book that comes out next month. So I'm excited to give this a go because I love a Holly Jackson book. They're all good in my books, so I kind of want to give this a go. I really enjoyed reading my thrillers last month, so I definitely want to read a few more thrillers, so I think it'd be fun to have this one on my TBR. But then I also have chosen Happy Place by Emily Henry, just because again I'm trying to get out of just reading fantasy, so I think a romance into the mix would be a good idea. This is Emily Henry's newest one that's out in paperback. I know Funny Story comes out soon. I've seen people getting arcs of it. I mean, I'd love to be one of those people, but this is the newest Emily Henry book that I have, so I thought again this would be a fun one to add into the mix. So I'm going to send a picture to my friend and see which one she chooses out of these 2. Okay, so my friend has got back to me. I sent her a picture and she said, love that, I feel like you know what I would 100% choose. So it has to be the reappearance of Rachel Price. So that's the one we're going to go for. That is the one that we are adding to our TBR this month, and I'm very excited. I should have guessed that she was going to choose that one just because we've been talking about A Good Girl's Guide to Murder coming out as a series soon, and we're both so excited for that. So I should have guessed that she was going to choose this, but we're on the same wavelength obviously, so I'm so glad that she did choose this. So on to prompt number 3. So this one is a book you bought used. Now that isn't many. I do tend to buy most of mine new nowadays just because of my job. So let me have a look around and see which one I bought secondhand. Okay, so we are definitely diving into the bigger books this month. So the one that kind of stuck out the most to me, which is a book that I bought on Vinted, so it is technically used, and that is The Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. So this is the first book in the series. The second book, Empire of the Damned, has just been released, so I did buy that. I got the special edition of it, but I haven't read the first one, so I managed to find this on Vinted for like a £5. It was ridiculous because I've seen it so much more expensive, so to find it for so cheap. So I think I'm going to give this one a go. It is secondhand, it is fantasy, it is vampires. It must be because it has vampires in the title. I've got no idea what this is about, but I've heard really good things, so this is going on the TBR for April. So now prompt number 4. Well, this will be an interesting one. So this is an author's debut novel. So again, let me have a scour. Okay, so I wanted to pick this one up for a while because I do own the ARC as well as a special edition version of it, and I just had a quick look at the author note that I got sent with it, and it says it's a debut, so it's literally perfect, and that is Where the Dark Stands Still by A.B. Poranek. So this is the ARC, this is the copy that I will be reading. I don't want to ruin the special edition. Again, I might annotate this as well, we shall see. But from what I know, this is Polish folklore inspired, and it's very much dark academia. If you like V. Schwab, you will like this book. So I'm excited to dive in and give this a go. So yeah, really excited with this choice. Okay, so we are now on prompt number 5. Well, we had this one last time and it wasn't a very good one, so this is the lowest rated book. Now last time it was Sanctuary of the Shadows and I just was not a fan of that book, so let's see what the lowest rated book I have on my Goodreads is currently. Okay, so I am on average rating in reverse, and the one right at the top is the Puzzlewood, so let me go and grab that. So this has a rating of 3.14 and it's only got 14 ratings. So again, like the other one, the Sanctuary of the Shadow, I'm assuming it's just because that it's a new book, so not many people have rated it, so it is quite low. It's either that or it's just not very good. So this is a bookseller exclusive proof. So it says, booksellers, do you dare enter the Puzzlewood? So I got this because of working at Waterstone. I also got it signed as well, which is pretty cool, so I'm hoping it's a good one. I have no idea what this is about. She's the same author who wrote The Leviathan. That one rings a bell, but I don't think I've read it. So I don't know if this is more mystery rather than like fantasy. I'm not too sure, but I'm probably going to go into this completely blind. But this is the one that we're going with. This is the one that's been brought up on Goodreads. It apparently is the lowest on average, so this is the one we're going to give a go. So I think I am going to do 8 books. So that was number 5, so we've got 3 more to go. So this is prompt number 6. Again, we had this one the last time. How many prompts are in there? And I'm still choosing the same ones. So this is written by 2 authors. So I read the Christina Lauren one, and I don't know if I have another one that's written by 2 authors. So let me have a think. Okay, no, I was wrong. So I do have one by 2 authors. I have the Zodiac Academy book that are obviously written by Caroline Peckham and Susanna Valenti. So I haven't read all of them yet. I'm up to book number 5, and I think quite luckily I haven't read 5.5, which is the big ASS party. So this is the one I'm going to choose. It is a novella. It's just over 100 pages. The font on it is absolutely huge, so it's not going to take me too long at all. I'm pretty sure this was on my TBR for February perhaps, and I just never got around to it, so hopefully I can get around to it this time. I do really like the Zodiac Academy books. They're bad but in the best way possible, so this is the one that we're going to choose. This is the only one I have. I don't recognize anyone else that has 2 authors, so this is the one we're going to go with. So this is the Big ASS Party Zodiac Academy for a book written by 2 authors. Okay, so prompt number 7. interesting. So it needs to have white on the cover, which should be quite easy, perhaps. I'm trying to stay away from just the fantasy books, so I am trying to browse my other shelves more, so I'm not just choosing fantasy. And I came across If Only I Had Told Her by Laura Nolan. Now, I read the first one, If He Had Been With Me. I absolutely loved it. I cried. It was such a beautiful story. And I picked this up when it first came out. Obviously, it's got the red sprayed edges and everything, and I just haven't got around to reading it, and I've wanted to for ages. And I mean, I'd say this has white on the cover, so this is the one we're going to go for. So it is a romance, it's a YA romance, and it's told from his point of view. So I'm assuming it's everything that happened in the first one is happening again, but we're just going to see it from, again, his point of view. So I'm excited to give this a go. And is it going to make me cry, I suppose? But yes, so this is prompt number 7. And now on to the last prompt, which is prompt number 8. God, just what we want for the last prompt. So a book over 500 pages. Fun. So I think we all knew it was going to be a fantasy book. I don't have many non-fantasy books that are over 500 pages, and the one that I've been wanting to get to for ages is a dark academia book, and it is The Will of the Many. I have heard people rave about this book. I haven't seen a single bad thing about it, and it's the start of a series from what I know, and I've just heard incredible things, and I just love dark academia book. And this one is definitely over 500 pages. It's over 600 pages, so it definitely fits the bill, and I'm excited to dive into this and give this a go. Okay, so that's all the prompts pulled out. That's all the books chosen. They are currently just on my chair in a random piles, and I can't remember which one I chose first to which one I chose last, so I'm just going to randomly pull them on and just do a quick overview of all the books that we've chosen for April. So for a friend pick, we have the reappearance of Rachel Price. For white on the cover, we have If Only I Had Told Her. For the lowest rated book, we have The Puzzlewood. For a book over 500 pages, we have The Will of the Many. For a book you bought used, we have Empire of the Vampire. For a book written by 2 authors, we have Zodiac Academy, The Big ASS Party. For an author's debut novel, we have Where the Dark Stands Still. And for a book to treat yourself, I have obviously treated myself a lot over the past week, so we've chosen By Grand Central Station, I Sat Down and Wept. So I don't know if you can see the lovely stack there. We have a very wide range of books. We have quite a few chunky books, we have some thin ones, so I'm kind of excited to see if I can get to all of these in April. Thank you to my best friend Zoe for choosing the best book that she possibly could and helping me out with this TBR. And if you don't know, I do film weekly vlogs where I will be talking about all of these books, so if you do want to hear my thoughts about these books when I read them, then please check out my weekly vlogs. I do tend to try and put as much information as I'm reading, like throughout the day, and bits and pieces like that, and I do have fun doing those, and I think you guys enjoy them too. But thank you so much to watching this video. Thank you for commenting, for liking, subscribing. It really means the world to me. We've just hit 450 subscribers, which is just incredible. I can't believe we've already hit that so early, so I do hope to get to 500 soon. Maybe if we get to 500, maybe I could do a bit of a giveaway. That'd be quite fun. But again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.